In these problems, we are factoring something called a difference of squares. And a difference of squares is just two things that you could take the square root of with a minus sign in between. So in this case, we have u squared and 4. The square root of u squared is u, and the square root of 4 is 2. So these are things we can easily take the square root of. When you have a difference of squares, two things that you can take the square root of with a minus sign in between, you can use this shortcut for factoring them. It always comes out to the square root of the first term plus the square root of the second term times the square root of the first term minus the square root of the second term. So we take the square root, we've got u and 2, so this is going to be u plus 2 times u minus 2. And if you want to test that, you can FOIL this out to see. What happens is that the middle terms always cancel each other out. So let's go ahead and FOIL this just to check. So the first terms, u times u, would be u squared. The outside terms, u times negative 2, would be minus 2u. The inside terms, 2 times u, would be plus 2u. And the last terms, 2 times negative 2, would be minus 4. And what you can see is the negative 2u and the positive 2u add up to 0, so we get u squared minus 4. So that's how that works. That's why the shortcut works. Let's try one more for practice. When you see a difference of squares, I've got z squared, I've got 64, a minus sign in between. I can take the square root of both of these. I think the first thing to do is to take the square root of both of those so you know what your a and b are. So here's z, that's the square root of z squared, and the square root of 64 is 8. And then we'll just put it in this form. So that would be z plus 8 times z minus 8. And that's really all there is to factoring a difference of squares.